I've had the privilege over the last several years of talking with colleagues at ASOR conferences about what makes an object. Obviously, we all deal with objects. We dig them up out of the ground and we tell their stories. We represent them to an audience, the public at large, and to our colleagues. The question is, what is the nature of the story we tell? And what theoretical constructs inform the telling of that story? Well, a paper I delivered last year at ASOR explored that very question. And it explored a number of theoretical constructs. Halbwachs, who is a great figure in archaeological surmise about the object and about the way we think of objects, the way we remember them, makes a very enigmatic observation about collective memory. He says that space alone is stable enough to endure without growing old or losing any of its parts. Space alone. It serves as a kind of container for memory, which may become scattered amongst various individuals, as we've learned of late, and lost amid events that are external to them. For his part, Clark insists that memory persists precisely when it is shared communally. This is the so-called shared mind, a central concept of material engagement theory. For Certeau, this fleeting and permanent reality, not so stable perhaps, is a central concept of place as it may be constructed in the mind of a community of individuals. He calls it an imaginary landscape that gives us singular understanding of another classic concept, Bourdieu's habitus. Is it possible to construe space as a vortex, as Merleau-Ponty has thought of it? Clark joins him in that conflation, I think. A coupled system that can be seen as a cognitive scaffolding in its own right, a kind of surrogate reality overlaid on the actual world. My paper explored that theoretical conflation, how entanglement, as Hauser uses it very practically, with the archaeological object and site can be replicated and find instantiation in the mind of each individual member of a community. In this process of becoming, another concept is born, a world-shattering and changing one, the concept of city. I sought to provide a revitalized perspective on choroplastics in ancient times, and it foregrounded a real-world context that articulated processes of manufacture, that is to say, the chaîne opératoire, as Louis Gourand would have said.